Hey everybody, welcome back to the Untitled Hoops podcast. My name is Sean, I Can Count. And that over there is Marquise, aka Fuck Those Yeah. Alright. So that is Marquise, aka Fuck Those Picks. So, for those of you who are new, this is the podcast where we talk about basketball, mainly the NBA, mainly the 76ers. And speaking of 76ers, Marquise, do you want to tell them what just transpired, what just happened?
We because of tampering, we did that.
Allegedly.
No, we did it. They worked. They basically
we did it.
No, we definitely did it. No, because they found out that me, like I'm a part of this shit. They found out that the Sixers and PJ Tucker had conversations previously to him signing, and also that was the same with Daniel House. So that's why they took 2 second-round picks. It was this one for this year and one for next year. I think they took.
So boy, did we learn our lesson.
Right. Listen, I'll be honest with you. If this is the only thing they're going to do for tampering is take away second-round picks, you might as well just fucking tell them that you did. Like, you just might as well tell them that you did.
There's no point in even having an investigation. But yeah, we did it.
Yeah, adding on to that,
you just wasted a bunch of people's time.
They found out that there was nothing wrong with James Harden taking that lesser money. There was nothing wrong.
Well,
so
yeah.
people thought that James Harden took lesser money, and the Sixers gave it to him in another way. Like Michael Rubin gave him a stake in something else, even though Michael Rubin gave everybody a stake in the Fanatics. Because I think Joel has a stake in it now. James has, like, a couple players have some stake in it. He opened some stuff up. He recently, but one of the things they were like, I think that was one of the reasons why Michael Rubin left was because of this.
Yeah.
So now, because he's like connector. He's like one of those connector pieces from the sports and the music world. Mm-hmm. So he has all that. So I think that's one of the reasons he left. Kind of like the Magic Johnson thing, where it's like, well, I want to interact with both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
If I'm with the Sixers and I'm also the owner of the Fanatics, I gotta also reach out to the other players to get things signed or to get things stuff like that. So he can't really do his business without talking to other players. So that could also be another reason he decided to leave.
The same thing or something very similar happened with Jay-Z. It was basically seen as a conflict of interest. He was an owner of the Brooklyn Nets. However, he eventually started Roc Nation Sports, which was a sports management company. You're not allowed to be an owner of a NBA franchise and also have your own management company. So that was seen as a conflict of interest, and so because of that, he sold his stake in the Nets. But he still owns the building and is still keeping his seats, apparently.
For sure.
That went over your head. It's a line. It's a Jay-Z line.
Did it really go over my head?
It sounded like it did, but never mind. It's
sure.
Okay.
Maybe. Only maybe.
You know what song it's from?
Sure.
What song is it?
Is it the one where they took a trip to Paris?
No.
Okay. The fact that you thought about it kind of makes me feel like you don't even know.
I do.
Which one is it then?
It's I can never remember the name of it, but it's with Swiss Beats.
You can't remember the name of it.
I know how it goes. I know
you can't remember the name of it. That's
kind
of crazy. Kind of crazy though. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy how you just ask me that I know and then you don't know. You know what I mean?
I know the song. It's called
kind of
Open Letter.
crazy.
It's called Open Letter.
Oh, you Googled it?
Yeah.
You had to Google it?
So I know the song. I just don't.
Wow.
Couldn't remember the name. It's called Open Letter. Jay-Z and Swiss Beats. I still own the building. I'm still keeping my seats. Y'all buy that bullshit. You better keep your receipts.
All right, now we just got copywritten. Thanks.
We didn't play the song.
No,
it's not the same thing.
No, it is. You got to pay to even have somebody sing the song.
I didn't sing it. There's no
Yes, you
beat
did.
either. That's
Yes,
not the
you
same
did.
thing.
You just sang the song. You just sang the lyrics, didn't you?
That's not the same.
Now we're owned by fucking Jay-Z now.
I'm okay with that.
I am too. I say Beyonce. So this week we learned a lot about the NBA. You know,
We did.
Kyrie is a fucking idiot, and people like
So
to
what
expose
happened?
themselves.
Because I don't even. I'm honest. If I'm being honest, I'm not on Twitter. I don't know what the fuck he said. I don't know what happened.
To fill you in quickly, he posted a clip to a movie that he was like watching or something like that, and he was like, "Oh well, I guess I'm going to share it with everyone else." So basically, it was a movie that kind of made Jewish people look terrible. And
What
then,
movie was it?
I don't know, but it's like
Okay.
it's more like a. It was more based on like a documentary or some shit like that. But and what made it worse, you know, obviously it was like we're in a very sensitive time. Also, it was a terrible thing to do. But what made it worse is that he got co-signed by Kanye West, and from there on, everything just went. And actually, let me do this. YouTube, yeah. So that's basically what happened with him, and he's a dickhead. And I want to show you this clip, and that's what I want to show you. Show you this clip. Probably should have had this queued up beforehand, but I didn't because I forgot that this happened. But now it is happening. There we go. Boom. Put this here. Put that there. Drag this here. All right. There we go. This is not exactly where it left off, but it's one of them. You hear it?
No.
What did I do last time?
I don't remember. I know you did something. I don't remember what it was.
Great. This is fantastic.
You're just sharing the window. You have to share the entire screen and then hit share audio or something like that.
Yes, there we go. Boom. There we go.
So, out of all the judgment that people got from me,
You hear it now?
Yeah.
Without talking to me, and then
So this
I
is what
respect what
Kyrie
Joe
was
said,
saying
but
in
there has a lot to
his
do
post-game
with
conference after
the,
last
not ego or pride of how proud I am to be an African heritage, but also to be living as a free black man here in America, knowing the historical complexities for me to get here. So I'm not going to stand down on anything that I believe in. I'm only going to get
So
stronger.
he doubles
because I'm
down on
not
what he
alone.
says.
I have a whole army around me.
Kyrie, while we're on the topic of promotion, why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
That was a few weeks ago. I do not stand with Alex Jones'
Right, because a whole bunch of people are now
position,
starting to
narrative,
co-sign with him.
court case that he had with Sandy Hook, or any
They're
of the
starting to
kids
co-sign
that
with
felt like they had to relive trauma, or parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to all the lives that were lost during that tragic event. My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults, and it's true. So I wasn't identifying with anything of being a campaignist for Alex Jones or anything. I'm just there to post. And it's funny, and it's actually hilarious, because out of all the things I posted that day, that was the one post that everyone chose to see. It just goes back to the way our world is and works. I'm not here to complain about it. I just exist.
And to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book,
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me doing, do you see me
By
in front of
putting it out there,
the
people
title?
are going to say that you are
Yeah, I put it out
promoting.
there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not
you put
stuff-
things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff
Great.
is
So
not
let's move on.
filled
Let's
with
move on.
anti-Semitic
Let's
stuff.
move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing
I'm
that.
another
You're
human
free to
being.
post
I can
what.
post whatever I want. So
You post
say that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that by
I don't have to
post-
understand anything from you.
It's
Nothing.
not me.
Nothing.
By
It's no
posting
people that
what
you're
you
making
did,
up, bro. Move on.
But by posting
Move
what
on.
you
Next
did,
question.
anybody
Do
is
you guys have
going to
any more
look at
questions
it,
for
and they're
me?
going to say,
You guys have any more
does he have
questions? Because this is going to be a
anti-Semitic
clip. This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
But you're not
All right, so basically that is what happened. Kyrie was going back and forth with I think that was Nick Friedel, who was a Brooklyn Nets beat writer, going back and forth with it. So obviously, he's doubling down. He's trying to clear it, but also, no matter how much you clear it, it's still kind of fucked up.
I mean, he's not even trying to clear it. He's if anything, he's trying to just make it seem like what he did was harmless, or even worse, he's trying to. It's essentially when they say throw rocks and hide your hand.
Yeah.
Like he's saying, what am I promoting? What would you call taking a bit of media and posting it on your platform for whatever reason, other than to just have other people see it? That's literally the definition of promotion. You take something, you put it out for people to see it.
Right.
That's exactly what promotion is. So I don't understand why he's in such disagreement with that term in this particular application. Sure, he may not have been paid. It wasn't paid promotion, but that's why that term paid promotion exists, because not all promotion is paid. You still took a bit of media and posted it to your however many millions of followers in the hopes that they would see it and perhaps take a look at it. That's exactly what promotion is. 100%. So you can't throw rocks and hide your hand. You can't do this shit and then try to flip the word because you didn't get paid and try to use like these little technicalities to try and get out of claiming responsibility for what you did. Because at the end of the day, you did it. So if anything, you're much better off simply just saying why you did it than to try and absolve yourself from any guilt or take any of the blame off of yourself, because you are the one who tweeted it. You can't get out of that. So just say why you did it, and then at the very least, maybe some people will understand you. If not, then oh well. If he's that adamant about his own beliefs and his own sense of free speech and justice, then you got to just really stand on what you believe in by saying it, by just saying it openly. So don't tweet it and then try to dodge the questions about why you tweeted it.
And one thing he was also trying to do in there, he was trying to separate it from everybody else, because like I said, he did get co-signed, by Kanye West. Kanye West is going through his own shit. You know what I mean? And another, like, I'm gonna get back to my main point. But another thing is, you see what Kanye West is going through right now. Kanye West is no longer a billionaire. Kanye West has lost fucking $100 million fucking shoe deals. He lost fucking so much other shit.
He literally got kicked out of his own bank.
Kicked out of his own bank. Had the school shut down. You know what I'm saying? Stuff, all this shit. To do some shit like that, even if you had no real reason for it, or it was just something you were interested in. Seeing all that shit, and you decided to do that. I mean, not even if you've seen it or not. It's like you're going to do that. You know what I mean? Like that's what you're going to do. Like, knowing that there's going to be some type of repercussions. Now, the NBA, obviously, not NBA, the Brooklyn Nets had put out Joe Tsai, I think his name is. Mm-hmm. They're, I think that's either their owner or general managers, one or two. No, there's the owner. Joe Tsai, and he basically put out a thing of, like, apologizing, but not really apologizing. It's one of those, like, kind of, like, we know it happened type fucking statements. So it doesn't really...
I have it here. He says, I'm disappointed that Kyrie appears to support a film based on a book full of anti-Semitic disinformation. I want to sit down and make sure he understands this is hurtful to all of us. And as a man of faith, it is wrong to promote hate based on race, ethnicity, or religion.
Right.
This was a tweet from Joe Tsai, looks like 3 days ago. Yeah,
so this all happened 3 days ago. This was... the clip I played was from the game 3 days ago, and then just a whole bunch of other, it's just bullshit. Like I think this kind of happened like last podcast we did. I know we didn't do a podcast in a while, but the last podcast I did, I was like, yo, the fucking off the court shit is overshadowing all the fucking the season has started. You know, like,
and it's compounded now by the fact that the Nets also suck.
Right, they also suck. Okay, and
it was one of those things where like you think winning solves everything, but they can't even win. So it's like there's literally nothing to distract from any of this. There's no, the Nets are going to win the East. There's none of that talk at all. It's pretty much just
is the
what's
Nets
going
going to
on
make
with
the
this
playoffs?
fucking circus.
Like,
yeah.
And we got to get into some other bullshit. Fucking Joshua Primo. Is it Joshua Primo? Is it Joshua? I don't fucking know. But he got fucking waived. This is his second year. Mind you, let me play the thing for some people who probably aren't familiar with Joshua Primo. He's in the second year. He was a 12th pick just last year, 12th overall in the first round pick last year. And this is literally his second year. He got his options picked up, his third and fourth year options picked up just like 2 weeks ago. And 3 days ago, actually yesterday, he gets waived because he allegedly was exposing himself to multiple women, and one woman from that used to be a Spurs, someone on the Spurs staff. So it's like one thing after another. You got this, and then you got this, and there's just so much bullshit.
No, it starts even before that. Ime Udoka.
I know. I mean, like, and now it's like, you know what I mean? Like that adds on to it. It's one thing after another. You know what I mean? It's like every week there's something fucking new. If we have a week of nothingness, it's like they gotta fucking paint something. You know what I mean?
The NBA is in a really tough spot right now.
Very weird.
Like as a whole.
As this is happening, they are now having conversations with the CBA. They're now talking. They're in the contract negotiations as we speak.
Now,
so all this shit is happening right now.
What I will say is that this does put the NBA, the actual league, the organization, in a great bargaining position. Because, like, you have all these issues of players requesting trades when they still have years on their contract, virtually demanding trades, forcing their ways out of teams, misbehaving, not being professionals. And then also, on top of that, you have all the off-the-court antics, which, in all reality, in any other workplace would be fireable. But you can't just fire Kyrie. You can't just fire Ime Udoka. I mean, you probably could, but there's so many more hoops to jump through in order for that process. And then on top of that, you're talking about millions of dollars because of the contract that you signed that you would now still probably have to pay this player/coach even after you terminate them.
Like Josh Primo's owed $8 million.
Yeah. So it's like it puts you as a team and as a league in a really tough position because the players do have so much power that when they abuse it, you really can't issue the punishments that would be in any other workplace appropriate, the adequate level of repercussions or punishment that would take place in literally any other workplace. You kind of can't do it because it's going to cost you millions of dollars.
Yeah. The NBA, I think me personally, just like thinking of like you talking about that, how like you're kind of tied to the guy no matter what until you could trade him, and then a lot of people, you know, if they're in some shit like this, they lose trade value, or you know, in certain instances like Joshua Primo, you got to release him, right? Yeah. Because you know,
like Kyrie's untradeable,
right? He's untradeable for the wrong reasons. Nobody wants the Kyrie. Like Kyrie's baggage, is close to where his talent is. Like there's a lot of like dead ass. Like Kyrie's one of the most talented players in the fucking NBA, but your baggage matches your talent. So it's like there's a fucking thin line between this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy,
he can help us win.
He can help us
win,
or right?
He could be the reason why we lose for the foreseeable future.
He can help us win. He can help us lose.
Yep.
Or he could just fucking retire. Like that's how Kyrie is. Like, Kyrie can fucking retire tomorrow, and we'll be like, that's some Kyrie shit.
Yeah. And it would make sense. Like, see, Kyrie's, even as a person, he's in an unfortunate situation because he, just like Kevin Durant, seems to be one of those people that just loves basketball, that just loves playing the game of basketball. But one of the sort of paradoxes of being a professional athlete is the professional side of it. Mm-hmm. You have to talk to the media. You have to do these things. You have to do these media meetings. Your tweets are being watched very heavily. There's so much attention on you at all times. People constantly want to ask you questions, not just about who you are as a person, but just like shit that they see online about you. So it's like all the things that he loves about basketball and about being in the NBA are probably equal to all the things that he hates about being a professional athlete. Right. So him retiring is not out of the realm of possibility. I would not be surprised at all, because he could go play somewhere else.
KD and Kyrie, if like you talking about, like, you're right. Like, they both just want a ball. They just want a ball, and everything else just seems just to be added on because of who they are portrayed to be. Right. Yep. It's like KD's portrayed to be a person who's, like, you know, thin-skinned, wants to reply to every fucking thing. Kyrie's one of those supernatural motherfuckers. Like, he's just different. He's different.
Conspiracy theorists,
right? Just
flat
all
earther, like
everything,
all of it,
everything. And when you say you want to go to a place where, like, you're going to be asked these questions, you're going to be asked this shit. You know, you only think, like, they went to the wrong team that wears black and white. If you just want a ball and let all that other shit be all that other shit, go to the Spurs where one, they're going to build a fucking team. All that shit that KD doing with the fucking with Steve Nash and all Greg Popovich is going to shut all that shit down.
But see, that's exactly the reason why I don't think that the Spurs want them. I don't think the Spurs ever really made
no. I'm not saying now. I'm not saying now. I'm talking about going into that free agency when they both chose.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When Kevin Durant first left Golden State, OKC, he should have gone to the Spurs. That was the perfect fit.
That's what we thought.
Yeah, the Spurs or the Wizards. Both of those would have been a great fit. Wizards obviously being his hometown team, but at the same time, you run into some similar issues because it is the nation's capital. News media is very, very big in Washington, even if it is just sports. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you would instantly be the only team to talk about. So, you know, that's kind of an issue.
But you got John Wall. You talk about the Wizards, right? Because everything. Yeah. You have Prime John Wall. Bradley Beal was up and coming. Mm-hmm. Kevin Durant. That's a fucking championship team.
But look at what the Spurs had, because this is what 2016.
Because 2016, right? Tim retired. Manu was on the back end of his career. Tony was in the back end of his career. Kawhi was emerging. Well, Kawhi was there.
But remember, Kawhi was there, and they still had LaMarcus Aldridge, who was pretty much still in his prime as well. He was towards the end of it, but LaMarcus Aldridge was still one of the best bigs in the league.
Yeah.
LaMarcus Aldridge, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, like Patty Mills, you know, that would still be a pretty good team.
Danny Green was still there.
Yep, Danny Green was still there as well.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
And coached by Greg Popovich, I think that would have been Kevin Durant's best option.
What I'm saying is, it will force Kevin Durant to go into a LeBron in Miami situation. Whereas, like, I know who the fuck you are, but you must also know who the fuck we are.
Right.
Greg Popovich put fucking KD in his place.
Right.
You might be one of the greatest scorers that the world has ever seen.
Yeah.
But I fucking benched Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker because I felt they weren't trying enough, and we were up in that fucking game.
Yep.
It was like a one possession game. They was up. Felt like they wasn't doing that shit. All right, Patty, go out there. Patty, y'all motherfuckers go out there. Y'all play.
Yep.
It was like Patty. I think it was like fucking Bellinelli, Matt Bonner.
Boris Diaw.
No, Boris Diaw started. He started.
They
had Matt Bonner, out
Matt
there.
Bonner. And
I just remember that shit.
the center.
Oh, Thiago Splitter.
Fuck. Yes, Thiago Splitter.
Thiago Splitter.
Yep.
He played for the Sixers too. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Thiago. I remember that because like I remember it was fucking. It was on ESPN. Like that shit was like, yo, Pop does not fuck around. Like he does not fuck around. He don't give a fuck who you are, and that's the best type of coaches. Where like if you can hold your best player accountable, like you can hold this 15th man on your player accountable. That is like the best situation. You know what I mean?
But see, I would argue that would not. It wouldn't mean as much for a guy like KD that it did for LeBron, because LeBron was the guy on his team, and he was also a very, very prominent and vocal leader. Always. Going to Miami, it humbled him in the sense that he had to recognize the structure of a team. Yes, you are the leader on the floor, but we have a coach who you need to listen to, and we have a GM who is in charge. Like, you're not gonna be the GM here. You're not gonna be the coach here. Okay? You can be the best player on the floor, and you can be the leader out there, but we are going to handle everything else. Kevin Durant has never had that problem. Kevin Durant's never been a GM, an armchair GM.
Yeah, he's never been
a coach.
Bro,
so he's never had any of those issues. So really,
yeah.
You would think Golden State would have done the same thing for Kevin that Miami did for LeBron. But Kevin really never had to learn those lessons. And on top of that, he was stepping into one of the best teams in the league. He was just there to add. Whereas with LeBron, they really built that team in Miami. Like, D-Wade was there already, but him, Chris Bosh, like all those guys really kind of came down there. You know, Ray Allen, like, they came down there to join together at once. It's not like they were all there and then LeBron just showed up. So I think for Kevin, it's interesting because I would argue that him going to a situation where he can be like not in charge might not be great for him, because what he's always kind of needed is that leadership, like to be the vocal leader, to get everybody in line, to be the guy who holds everybody accountable. Because for the most part, every team that he's been on, he's relied on somebody else to do that. On the OKC, it was, Kendrick Perkins. That year they went to the finals. In Golden State, it was Draymond. The Nets don't have anybody like that. So that's why they're lost.
So let's hop into the basketball. Like, we've talked enough about the headline bullshit that unfortunately happens in the NBA. But let's talk about it. Like, I have some things down. Like, we talked about the Nets, but let's talk about at the point when I wrote this, the Lakers were 0-5. But
the Lakers won their first game yesterday.
They won their first game. It's crazy. Once they won their first game, and I saw Patrick Beverley, I thought of the fucking when they won the playing game. And
the Timberwolves.
I just thought of that shit. Russ was hype as fuck.
That's still to this day. That's how, like, you remember how mad Kobe was at the Lakers when they won a game and they were celebrating like it was the finals.
He was on Jimmy Fallon.
Like the post game. He was on Jimmy Fallon, stone faced. He did not like that shit at all. Can you imagine with somebody like him? Like, if he was their veteran on the Timberwolves, like what he would feel to watch that celebration for winning a play-in game?
The fuck are you doing?
Oh my God, they all would have been. Oh my God, like,
Patrick, get the fuck off the fucking table. Get the fuck off, bro. You won a championship, bro. You went there and you got fucking swept. I think. Like, no. They actually had a competitive series. They had a competitive series against the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
they had a competitive series.
It was a back and forth series. It was.
I mean, all that to lose.
It was exactly that. It's like that. It was back and forth.
Joel Embiid is not playing tonight. Great.
I'm okay with that.
With non-COVID
we beat
illness.
Toronto without him. I'm honestly
let's hop into the Sixers. Let's fucking hop into this shit because we can go in and out of this shit, and I feel like we have to do this now.
Well, wait. Before we go into the Sixers, let me finish about the Lakers real quick. One of the things that stood out to me watching that game, because I didn't watch the full game, but I watched like the first or the second half, and then I watched the highlights. Russell Westbrook being aggressive is exactly what the Lakers have needed this entire time. Because even if they don't have shooters, Russ generates open shots. You may not knock them down, but to have a higher number of open shots gives you a much better chance. And him being aggressive and him having the ball in his hands more, I thought was what they brought him there for. But it kind of just seemed like, you know, they didn't know what to do with him. But last night, seeing him be like really the old sort of Russ, having the ball in his hands, getting downhill,
and he came off the bench
kicking it out to shooters, dump off passes to AD, like that was what I was expecting from the Russell Westbrook in LA. And then you got LeBron, who can be in there by himself, and he can just run the whole game by himself when everybody else is on the bench. I mean, when, you know, AD or Russ are on the bench.
Somebody just texted you some dumb shit. Their best shooters is fucking Austin Reeves and Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
And when I click on Matt Ryan, it fucking, yeah.
When it takes you to the football player?
Yes. Sean,
I knew it. I knew it.
Sean, I lied to you not. It's on the. I need to show you this. You have to see.
It's on the NBA website.
Look. Wait. Is this?
No, it's not on the NBA website. They don't have Matt Ryan, the quarterback.
No. I'm looking at the thing, and I'll go. Their best shooter is Matt Ryan. Immediately,
just Colts.
It just fucking Colts. But he's their best shooter, and he just came out of fucking nowhere. Like, I don't even know where he played for. Like, where was he? Don't even know who he is. But he needs to play more. Reeves need to play more. They're like shooting 40% from deep. They need to play more.
And they're not small guys either. Like, they're not great defensively, but they're switchable. Like, they can move. Yeah. They're not like JJ Redick's. Like, JJ, as much as we love JJ and as incredible of a shooter as he was, on defense, you know, he wasn't.
He was giving those points right back. Yep.
He was giving up some points. Yeah. Austin Reeves is at least bigger and, in my opinion, probably just as mobile. Still kind of slow. Not the most athletic, but he's got enough size to bother a shot.
Yeah, he's shooting 47% from three this year.
That's crazy.
Obviously, we're still early in the year. 6 games. I think every team is like 6 games, and except for the Bucks, who seem to only play like 3 games. It's just so fucking weird.
Right.
It's so weird.
I think they play like, 5 games or something like that?
They play 5 games.
And everybody else is at like 7. Like, the Sixers are playing their 8th game tonight, right?
We're 3 and 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. We played our 7th. This is our 7th.
No, we're playing our 8th. We're 3 and 4.
Yeah, this is our fucking 8th. Oh, my God. Yeah, so they just got to play Matt Ryan more. Just got to play Matt Ryan. They got to play. Just when, like, especially
throw
like,
that deep ball.
Yeah, you need to have one of them on there. You got to have one of them on the floor at all times. Like, you just
one
have
white
to.
Guy.
One white guy all time. At all times, just one white guy. Back to the Sixers. 2 words for the Sixers. Fire Doc. It's time. It is time. And this is my reason. This is my reason why. Let me just hop into my reason before you come back at me. Montrezl Harrell averaged 13 points last year. He's averaging 3.
Yep.
Shake Milton averaged 8 points last year. He's averaging 2.7. Matisse Thybulle played last year. That should say a lot. In the last 2 games he played, we won because he is our best transition defender.
Yes. And he's not, like, I understand he's not a great shooter, but he's not a super liability on offense. He's a great cutter. He's like, he can actually knock down some shots, some spot up shots, especially like off in the side or in the corner. Like, he's not a liability on offense. He's not been. Like, he's not going to pass up open shots. No, he's going to at least shoot them.
Yeah. Let me go to our roster. Let me see who else isn't playing up to par. Paul Reed. Seen him like twice.
Yep.
What's that? The only bench players we have is D'Anthony Melton and George Niang.
Mm-hmm.
That is it. Montrezl
George
Harrell
Niang is
was
basically consistent from last year. He's basically just the same as last year.
right. You literally have two guys off your bench when we should have more.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell that you're trying to do pick and roll every time when Montrezl Harrell with James Harden. When give fucking Montrezl Harrell the fucking ball sometime.
Yeah.
Like, and this is one of those things that's kind of like takes away from like. Remember how last year it was like Doc would go out with like the all bench lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like go ahead and do that now. Like
Yeah,
go
you
ahead
can actually do that now.
Actually do that.
Now
shit.
it's okay.
Now right. Shake not playing is bullshit. I just think it's fucking bullshit. It because like literally going into the shit, like he looked like he was a clear backup point guard, and now
Yeah.
you got and then you don't want to play Montrez, which is fucking stupid, but it also makes sense, but it's stupid, and then you put PJ at backup center, and then it's like, bro, what the fuck is the reason of signing him if you're not gonna fucking use him? And then like his fucking shit is terrible. He's just
And I think the thing that bothers me the most about this whole situation is that I have not heard once Doc claim responsibility.
Of course not. Of course not.
Like, it's always, we're not. He literally said, we're not ready to win yet. The fuck was the point of training camp then?
Right, bro, we didn't even fucking train camp in Philly.
Why did we have a preseason? Like, wasn't that the time to get all this ironed out so you could be ready to win by the time the first game of the season comes? Not even the first game. I'll give you the first game. We lost to the defending Eastern Conference champions. I'll give you that.
That second game. I can't let that go.
And then the Spurs. And then like by the time we lost to the Spurs, I was like, yeah, no, this ain't it. This isn't working. And what's crazy is that we got better defensively, but we've been worse. Like, we got P.J. Tucker, who I would say is probably a better on-ball defender than Danny Green. We got D'Anthony Melton, who Daniel House, who I would say is probably a better defender than Furkan Korkmaz. Like, we got all these, like...
You wasn't putting Danny Green on fucking Giannis. You weren't doing that.
Not at all. So, on paper, we should be better defensively. But we're so bad everywhere that we're supposed to be good. Joel Embiid having plantar fasciitis, I don't know how to pronounce this shit. Plantar fasciitis, I think. His foot injury.
I was about to say his foot was hurting. That's about it.
His foot problem, like having him be not 100% defensively, has killed our entire defense. Because for whatever reason, we can't stop anybody on the perimeter, and now Joel, who's, not at 100%, has to cover for everything, and he can't. And, like, we're giving up so many points, especially in transition. Like, we have no transition defense whatsoever. And the fact that we have Matisse Thybulle on the bench and you're not putting him in because he can't shoot. Like, bro, you still got James Harden, Tyrese Maxey. Like, bro, fucking take... Like, if you're not going to play Matisse, we need to be scoring every possession, like more than anybody else in the league. If you're gonna take a all defensive team player and just not play him, we better be outscoring everybody on every possession in every quarter. Otherwise, you have no excuse for not playing him. He's literally our transition defense right now.
Look, these last games before these two games he had, like these two games where he got 20 minutes in both games. Mm-hmm. He got a collective of 8 minutes. The other
over 5 games.
Over the other 5 games. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. In the first game, he got played 20 seconds, Sean. There's not even...
Why? Why would you... What reason would you have to put somebody in for 20 seconds?
20 seconds, Sean. He got in for 20 seconds. Somebody fouled. They took his ass out. Somebody fouled. It wasn't even him that fouled. It was somebody else who fucking fouled. and they took him out and they put Daniel House. I never want to see Daniel House again.
Unless it's literally the end of the game and you just need a stop. You don't have any reason to sub somebody in for one possession.
I never want to see
Daniel House. That just doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? Why would you disrupt the entire flow of the... Like, what are you doing?
I never want to see Daniel House again. I never want to see...
I don't want to... It's not even like... It's not even like I have a huge problem with Daniel House. It's just Daniel House isn't getting the shots that he was getting.
He just exists.
Prime James Harden. Like, he's not getting good shots. Nobody's really getting good shots. Honestly, if you think about it, like, we should have a ton of open shots all the time. Between Joel Embiid and James Harden drawing as much attention as they do, everybody should have at least 4 open shots.
You know what's crazy? We are top 5 in 3-point percentage.
Yeah.
With 40% of our points come from the 3. Last year, it was only 25%. This year,
because we posted up Joel more.
Yeah.
But now, Joel can't get position. He's hardly... It's like...
Yeah.
And the thing that pisses me off... The thing that really pisses me off, too, is seeing that little video in the offseason from, like, training camp when Doc pulled James to the side and he was like, oh, would you agree last year we were a terrible post-passing team? And James was like, yeah. Guess what's happening this year? They're a terrible post-passing team.
We are terrible.
Like, they still cannot get the ball to Joel. And Joel is having a hard time getting position because of his foot. So it's like...
And you can see that he's tired. Like, he's visibly tired.
He's exhausted. He's not getting good position down low, and they're not getting him the ball soon enough. So we're basically forced to shoot from the outside because we have almost no interior presence. Even the pick and roll isn't great. Like, it seems like teams are kind of caught on that Joel likes to shoot that little mid-range shot off the pick and roll, and
it's not even the fact that they caught on. It's the fact that James Harden doesn't fucking realize that and just assumes that Joel's going to roll every fucking time.
Like, do the pocket pass, the little bounce pass
like,
you did all last
year. He keeps dribbling and looking over like Joel's supposed to. Like, Joel's like, no, motherfucker, I'm shooting this shit.
Yeah.
Because you're not fast enough to fucking blow by somebody. It's like, no, motherfucker, give me the ball. Just let me get the ball.
Yeah. Like, if I'm Joel Embiid, or if I'm James Harden, excuse me, and I see Joel Embiid at the foul line or closer, being guarded one-on-one, I'm giving him the ball. Like, I don't care where I'm at on the floor. I don't care where anybody else is. If Joel Embiid is at the foul line or closer and being guarded one-on-one, just give him the fucking ball. This is the number 1 scorer in the league last year.
Right. And
like,
on top
I don't
of that,
care he's not at 100%. Him shooting that jump shot is still a better percentage shot than you trying to kick it out to fucking PJ in the corner contested.
And let's try to put this more into perspective. He is not even 100%, and he's averaging 27 points a game. He's not 100%, but he's averaging 20% a game. He's shooting 53% a game. 53% from the field goal. His highest he's ever done it. Yep. You know, his rebound's kind of down because he's not trying to crash as much. His 3-point percentage is down because he's not using his legs as much because of his foot. But once Joel gets better, the league is in fucking trouble.
And that's why I'm okay with him not playing tonight, because they're still so early in the season. This happens every year. This happens every single year. Last year, the Knicks were number 1 in the East for like a week. Like, it happens every single year.
This year, the Utah
bad
Jazz.
Teams get off to a hot start,
the Utah
and everybody's
Jazz
scrambling, and then the guys who really are contenders start to separate themselves.
Yeah.
This happens every year. People are hype about the Spurs and the Jazz being like the top teams in the West. In Portland, like, it's not gonna last. We know that.
I expect Portland to still be a top 5 seed, though.
No,
I do.
Nope,
I do.
The top 5 seeds in the West, I think, are going to be Golden State, Utah. Golden State, the Jazz. Not the fucking. I keep saying Utah. The Nuggets, fucking Denver and Utah.
I don't think Nuggets are gonna be top 5.
I think they will.
I don't think so.
I think they will. Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray being back. This is their first year back. I think they're going to take time to get acclimated to playing one another and just to get back in shape, like get back into game shape.
I don't think so.
I think Golden State, Nuggets, Pelicans, Clippers, and Clippers if they can stay healthy, obviously. And no, I guess Portland might be able to sneak in at 5.
I have them being in top 5.
No, I'm sorry, Dallas. I'm tripping. Dallas.
I don't have Dallas being in top 5 seed.
Wow, really? Memphis then?
Memphis, maybe, yes. Maybe.
Still, there's at least 7 teams you can name that will that.
I personally think with Memphis, once Jaren Jackson Jr. comes back, they're going to fall off. It might sound fucking weird.
Really?
It might sound weird, but I think they're rolling with confidence that him coming back and try to put him back into his shit is going to slow them down for like a couple games.
I think they do it slowly. I think they just give them a minutes restriction, and I think they just bring them along slow. I think it'll be like 10 minutes a game.
This is the current
off the bench.
This is the current. I'm going to go. Well, I'm going to just Trailblazers is number 1. Phoenix Suns are number 2. Spurs are 3. Jazz are 4. Pelicans are 5. Grizzlies are 6. Timberwolves are 7. Nuggets are 8. Thunder is 9. Mavericks are 10. Warriors are 11. Clippers are 12. Kings are 13. Lakers are 14. And the Rockets are 15. I think at least the Blazers are going to be 6 seed. I personally feel like they're going to be there because, like, think about it. Their offense and defense are in the top 10. When has the Blazers defense ever been top 10? And then on top of that, Gary Payton has not even fucking played yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So that plus that defense plus Anthony Simons, like, basically playing like CJ plus. Because his playmaking is better. Are we making this a bet? You want to make a bet? You want to make a bet?
$20?
$20 bet. Cool.
Pacers or Trailblazers top 5 by the end of the season.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm saying no, you're saying yes. I
say yes, 100%. I think they're going to be top 5.
I don't know, man. I'm seeing some names here.
You're seeing some names? What do you mean seeing some names?
I mean, like, Phoenix, Memphis, New Orleans, Denver, Clippers, Dallas, Golden State. I mean...
Clippers have to be fucking healthy before I give them anything. The Nuggets are playing good. They're just not. They're 4-3 off of Jokic.
But neither are we.
I know we're not playing
neither
good.
Are the...
But there's a difference.
The Celtics...
There's a difference.
The Celtics are 3rd, and they started off 3-0.
We're in the East. They're in the West.
Okay.
We legit.
So you think what about the Heat?
Turned it on. I don't think the Heat not going to be top 5. For sure, not going to be top 5.
Okay.
I think the Heat are going to go to play-in.
Really?
These are hot takes, but the Heat is going to be in the play-in game.
The Heat are going to be in the. You think they dropped that far?
The Heat are going to be in the play-in game.
From number 1 in the East last year to the play-in.
Yes. Yes.
No injuries.
If they have no injuries, no, I don't. I still don't think it. Like, Kyle Lowry has been playing fucking terrible. Nobody's even talking about Bam. Okay. Tyler Herro's been iffy, hit and miss, and Jimmy's been Jimmy. But that, I mean, maybe they it's typical Heat shit. They save it for the playoffs. But you got to get there first. That's the thing that is overlooked. You got to get there first. And I'm not feeling the Heat. I said the Heat weren't going. I didn't have the Heat in my top 4 coming into the season. I don't believe in them. I don't believe in the Heat. I don't at all. They stay stagnant. They don't have a fucking power forward. their biggest acquisition this offseason was getting back Victor Oladipo.
Right.
They did nothing. And the only reason, one of the main reasons they were fucking the number 1 seed last year, because Boston turned it on late. Milwaukee was battling injuries. The Sixers didn't have a second player until the second half of the season. A second best player to the second half of the season. And who was fourth? Who was fourth? Because there was like a 3-way tie last year. We were fourth.
We were fourth.
Yeah. So it was Boston. It was Miami, Boston, Milwaukee, and us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like literally for all the reasons, like literally, Boston wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Like they were under 500 in January. So it's like I think Miami, just because of situations, were number 1 seed. Like literally, there was one night where all 4 teams were number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Legit, the Sixers had the number 1 seed. They lost to the Suns. Then Milwaukee had it. They lost. Then it defaulted back to fucking Miami.
Yeah.
So like last year, I mean, they also made it. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they beat once again a team that was injured.
Yeah. Because Joel.
So it's like a lot of the things have kind of fell in their hand. Like a lot of shit just kind of fell in their hand. This year, starting out the season, there's nothing there. There's nothing to fall in your hand. Every team has gotten better. The teams that are not playing, they're not supposed to be fucking good, are playing something better than the fucking people we have fucking supposed to be champions. So it's like there's nothing. But it's
early though. This happens every year. Remember when Chicago was number 1 in the East?
Yeah, but they got taken off by injuries. It wasn't by play; it was by injuries.
But even once they got their guys back, they still were losing.
They never got Lonzo back.
No, they never got Lonzo back. But they got Caruso. Or no, they never got Lonzo back or Patrick Williams. Now that I think about it, just right. Caruso and Levine.
Those are 2 like pivotal part. And then on top of that, Levine, fucking first game back was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
After like a month off with that knee injury. So it's like a lot of like literally like now you got a full season. I don't really count like the Sixers are under 500, but do we really count that? No, not really. To be honest with you, I don't really because of the scheduling. I don't fucking no. I don't count it. Might be like a homer thing, but it's just like you look at the team and you go, "Fuck." Well, then again, Doc Rivers can fuck it up.
Yeah,
Doc Rivers can definitely fuck it up, as he has so far.
That's true.
It's literally the fucking.
I mean, I don't want to.
Like I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I don't want to just straight up blame.
Understand it.
I don't want to blame Doc as if he just purely can't coach. I just don't think he's as good of a coach as he gets credit for. And on top of that, I think I don't know if he's done the necessary work to compensate for some of his weaknesses. Like, for instance,
he didn't.
I don't know who's on the bench who's drawing up plays. Like, who on our coaching staff...
It gotta be Sam Cassell.
I don't know if I want Sam Cassell doing that. Like, no offense, but I would much rather have...
David, because I know he was calling some plays up yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but the last
Dave Yeager.
Dave Yeager. He was calling some plays yesterday that was working.
Yeah.
Because I remember, he first person off the bench when the shit happened.
I would much rather Doc if he approached it the way that football kind of does, where you have the head coach, but then you have an offensive coordinator, you have a defensive coordinator. Like, you have the people who actually come up with the plays and decide what to run and when. And Doc can just be the overseer who just kind of runs the show and keeps all the personalities in line. I would much rather have that than to have Doc actually be the decision maker on like when a guy goes to the bench, like, or
this is
comes
the whole thing
in the game. Like,
I feel like Doc doesn't work with the players. Like, I don't feel like he doesn't work with them like Sam Cassell works with them.
Right, which
and
is fine. But I mean, that's how head coaches are. Like, head coaches work with the team. They don't work with individual players.
That's why I think Sam Cassell would be a great coach that players will want to play for. Like, Like Tyrese, remember the Tyrese, Paul Reed, Isaiah Joe, and Jaden Springer. Mm-hmm. They were in this thing called low minute groups or whatever, and they would just ball out. And Sam Cassell was like, yo, the other three need work, but Tyrese is ready. He would say that. He would say Tyrese is ready.
Mm-hmm.
DNP. Coach's decision. Of him just not fucking playing.
Talking about his
rookie
rookie
might
season.
go, his rookie year. You might go, because he's a rookie. But, like, in those spurts, he showed you that he could ball. Like, he could ball.
Yeah.
And then the next year, you might not remember this, but the next year when Ben was sitting out, Shake Milton was supposed to be the fucking starter.
Yep.
If it was not for Shake getting injured, I don't think Doc would have fucking put Tyrese in. I mean, not like put him in the game, but like put him as a starter.
And what pisses me off is that Doc is shooting himself in the foot because he's always liked Maxey. Like, from draft night, he said, I like Tyrese Maxey. But, like, as soon as we drafted him, he was like, yeah, like, I've seen him, I like this kid. And then you just don't play him? Like, like, what do you mean? If you knew what he was capable of.
Case in point, Isaiah fucking Joe.
Yes.
Bro was playing in garbage minutes. Bro was playing in garbage minutes.
Yes.
Went off for 8 points by himself, hit a fucking game-tying 3, went to overtime, and then took the fuck over. Man had 15 points in like 10 minutes.
Yep.
We need we legit need shooters. Like, George Niang is okay, but when George Niang is by himself, that's too crazy. That's wild.
And not only that, but he's a big. Your shooter can't be a big because you're taking him away from the area where he needs to be to rebound.
I mean, he's not even a big though. He's not a.
He's your power forward. He's at any point in time one of the taller guys on the floor when he's on the floor. It's pretty much like him. Paul Reed's not that much bigger.
Is 6'7" really tallest guy in the NBA now?
I'm talking about for us. When Niang's on the floor, he's one of the bigger guys on the floor. And I mean bigger, not just taller, but like bigger.
Bigger.
Like he's
thick.
He's 6'7", but think about it. Paul Reed's what, 6'9"? Like he's not that, huh?
Paul Reed's same height.
Yeah, like Paul Reed's not that much bigger, and he's playing center. Montrezl Harrell isn't that much taller either, and George is like
he's not taller at all.
30 pounds heavier than both of those guys. So like, he's still a big. He's not tall, but he's still technically a big. So it's like, do you really want to have him away from the interior for most of his minutes? I understand if you want to pick and pop and like do that kind of stuff, have him, fade out to the 3-point line or whatever when you're driving. But if somebody else puts up a shot, you would want your power forward in the paint. Like, even if it's just to gain rebound. He may not get them by himself, but like he can be there to help box out and help actually other guys get rebounds.
Okay. There's also no excuse. Like, I'm gonna go back to what I said in the beginning. There's no fucking excuse for Montrezl Harrell to only play 9 minutes.
No.
Like, I understand,
especially not when Joel's injured.
Right. I understand, like, Joel, you know what I'm saying? Joel is going to get the lion's share of minutes. Of course. He's a fucking best player.
But is that even right? But that's the thing.
This is what I'm saying.
Is that even right in this point of the season? Do you really want that?
Because, like, Joel's played the most minutes he's played in his career so far. He's up at around, like, 34, 35. Which means there is, on a night-to-night basis, 15 to 16 minutes that Montrezl Harrell should be playing. But then again,
that's not good.
You have to think that Montrezl Harrell is 6'7". He's not 7-footer. He's 6'7".
But he's athletic enough to go up.
But this is the whole thing. I don't agree that he should. There's no way in fucking hell he should be averaging 3 fucking points a game. There's no fucking way. But also watching him play, he's not the Clippers guy. He's not the Clipper Montrezl Harrell. He's not that. Like,
well,
he's
there's no
like
Lou Williams out there with him.
You can say that, but D'Anthony Melton's there. You talking about like another bucket getter or like
another bucket
that,
getter who's going to actually draw like a pretty significant amount of defensive attention and then throw a lob.
I mean, but he's often out there playing with James Harden. Joel's normally the first person off the thing, so it's like he should be doing it more. The only literally the only players that we have right now that's coming off the bench and being successful is D'Anthony Melton, who's shooting 39% from 3. And then George Niang, who I think is shooting some fucking ridiculous number from fucking 3. That's it.
It doesn't make sense. We did all the work because our bench sucked. We literally did all this to get a better bench. And we're
all we got
getting,
for it is one player.
We're somehow getting
one
less production out of our bench than we did last year.
Yeah,
and it doesn't make sense for you to be playing Joel for 30-plus minutes a game when we're not even 10 games into the season yet, and he's already injured. It doesn't make sense at all. These games are not that important.
Joel Embiid is playing 34.5 minutes a game.
Like, bro, you got James Harden with 26 games left in the season last year and acclimated him well enough in that amount of time to win a playoff series.
James Harden plays too
you
much
can't
too.
sit.
James Harden plays too much too. James Harden's playing.
And James is playing too much too. James is one of the oldest motherfuckers on this team. Why is he playing as many minutes? When you have Tyrese Maxey and D'Anthony Melton and Shake Milton, why are you playing James Harden for this amount of minutes?
I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of scared to check fucking Tyrese Maxey minutes a game. That shit fucking be like 48.
I don't even think it's that high. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it's that high.
These last 2 games, he played 43 and 40. But he's at 37.
How many games?
Well, these were not the last 2, but the 2 Raptor games. He played 40 minutes and 43 minutes. He's averaging 37 on the year.
Okay. But that's not that. I mean, for a player his age, that's not out of the question.
But for James Harden shouldn't be playing like in a regular season over 32 minutes unless we go to overtime.
Especially when we're getting leads.
Right. And this thing,
if we can secure a lead, why is James even in the game?
What I want from James Harden that I don't think he will do because he is James Harden still in the head, I think, is James Harden to be better I'm not saying stand in the corner, but being better off the ball. Yeah. Because I still, even though he is emerged, I won't say emerged, but he looks back like James, even though the last couple games he looks like James Harden from last year. But like majority of the games he looked good, but he's starting to look like James. I don't know whether he's tired or he's not getting the same looks or he's not shooting the ball as much, but he's starting to look like James from last year. I would like to see Tyrese Maxey with the ball in his hands more.
Yeah,
because Tyrese Maxey, other than that game where he took the fuck off against Toronto, they haven't. It's been Joel and James and everybody else gets the scraps. Where it should be Joel, Tyrese, James facilitating. You still need your points from James, but you know for sure that you're going to get it from Joel and Tyrese. Tyrese is the second leading scorer right now. As we speak, Tyrese is the second scorer.
Until you get to the playoffs, there is no reason for your stars to be playing this many minutes or to be asked to do this much. This is the time when you literally develop the bench. This is the time when you get those guys used to playing with each other. So that way, when we get to the playoffs, they can come in and know exactly what they're supposed to do, no matter who they're on the floor with.
I.e., fucking Paul Reed. Paul Reed didn't get barely any time last year, and then had to come in, and for what, like 2 games he had to, either he was a starter or no, he actually didn't start because he would fucking refuse to fucking give him time over fucking DeAndre Jordan. But like he was
didn't
playing
play
starters
bad. Minutes.
Yeah, he wasn't playing bad. And he wasn't playing bad. He adjusted as well as you can for somebody who played 10 games in the fucking regular season.
Yeah,
but he just.
And when you're a player like that, where your skill set is not Swiss Army knife level skill set, like a Joel Embiid, like a James Harden, like a Tyrese Maxey, you really need to know your personnel. You need to know who you're going to be out there with, because that's going to affect what you're asked to do. So, having Paul Reed out there with Montrezl Harrell, I guess you're just experimenting, but at the same time, it's this is why you're not ready to win yet, because why are you still experimenting with having Montrezl Harrell and Paul Reed on the floor at the same time? This isn't something that you were able to work out in preseason or training camp. They're hey, maybe this lineup doesn't really work practically for anything in the NBA. Maybe just putting all the tall guys out there at once isn't the key to everything. These are things that you should have ironed out, or at the very least, you should be at a position where you're just fuck it, I'm gonna just do whatever we can, do as many experiments as we can with these lineups for an entire game, not for a quarter, for an entire game. Because we're still in the beginning of an 82-game season, and you still have Joel Embiid and James Harden. You're going to make the playoffs. Barring any major injuries, you're going to make the playoffs, and Tyrese Maxey. So, if you want to experiment, fine, but go all out with it. Don't have Joel Embiid on the floor for 34 minutes. Don't have James Harden on the floor for 34-plus minutes. Commit to actually developing the bench. Give them the minutes. Let them go out there and play. And then see who emerges as, the guys who are going to actually get those minutes when playoff time comes. But don't half-ass it. So don't say, all right, we're going to experiment with this lineup for 5 minutes and then get the starters back in. What's the point of that? All you're doing is disrupting the flow of the game.
I'm trying to look up our stats for our season. So, like I said, the Sixers are 5th in 3-point percentage. We're shooting 39% as a team, and we're also 5th in field goal percentage. So it's we're getting good shots.
We're not getting stops.
Yeah, we're not getting stops. Literally, I don't know where we rank on defense. I'm trying to. It only shows. Okay, we're about to see it right now. Where do we rank in defense? God,
I'm sure we're low, especially transition defense.
Let's see. Defensive. We are 13th.
So basically,
13th.
Middle of the pack.
And I think that's because of the last couple games.
Yeah, that probably boosted us a little bit.
Yeah.
It's tough because there's no way to win the games now. Not with Joel not being 100%, and you guys still having all these new players who you're trying to
Correction,
bring along.
we are 20th. Never mind. Sorry, 20th.
Oh.
We were, when I was listening to Zach Lowe, we were 29th.
Oh.
But these last couple games
bumped us up to 20.
Only team that was worse than us was the Nets. But we are now 20th.
How ironic.
But they were worse than us by a lot, though. They were worse than us by a lot,
which is expected because they traded Ben Simmons. They traded for Ben Simmons, thinking oh, he can be the facilitator and defender. Okay, yeah, but he can't really facilitate when KD and Kyrie have the ball in their hands all the time, and also he can't defend every fucking body. He can only defend one player at a time. So if the rest of you are still ass on defense, you're still going to be a bad defensive team.
Ben Simmons can't defend without fouling. He cannot. He fouled
because
out
they're
of
just
fucking damn near all fucking games.
They're attacking him on everything, and then on top of that, he's trying to play he's help defense.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to play help defense, but you can't recover from how bad some of these other guys are defensively. without fouling.
And, I'm trying to get shit better. Yeah, that's too dark. God damn.
Oh, you're not too dark. Don't say that.
Shut up. Shut your ass up. Where are we in assists? Like, I'm finding this very fascinating that I could just go through and just check all this shit. We are. Hold up, let's go. 11th best in turnovers. That's a good thing. Not a bad thing.
Our offense
The
is
Clippers,
not doing terrible. It's literally defense.
It's not. We are. We're ninth. We're ninth in offense.
Yeah, we're not.
And
which
we're
is to
pretty
be
good with
expected again. But
take care of the ball.
When you literally have 2 All NBA defensive players and one of them is hurt and the other one you're just not playing for whatever reason, you're probably not going to be very good on defense. It may be a hot take, but
our fucking rebounding is still fucking terrible.
Because they don't gang rebound. Besides Joel, nobody else on the team has any like real physical advantage as far as height.
So right now, the most rebounds a game are coming from New Orleans and Pacers with 53. We are currently at 47, but it doesn't feel like 47. It does not feel like 47 at all.
No,
47 is 29th, by the way. 53 is first, which is what 6 rebounds, 9 rebounds.
No,
but
it's 6.
Still, those 9 rebounds.
6.
Those 9 rebounds. 6.
It's 6.
It is.
Yeah, it's 6.
Cool. Oh, I know it was one of them. I was right the first time. Should stick with it.
It's a multiple of 3.
It's one of those. We are. Oh, our pace went up too. Oh no, it didn't. No, it didn't.
I take that back.
We are the slowest team in the NBA by a lot. It's us, then the Raptors, then the Mavericks, then the Cavs, then the Celtics.
Is Fred VanVleet playing? I can't remember if he played the last 2 games.
He did, but he was fucking god awful.
Yeah. It makes sense that us and the Raptors are probably the slowest because the Raptors don't really have a point guard. Like, they have Van Fleet, but he hasn't been doing very well. And then us, like, we have, like, Joel, who's not 100%. James, who's kind of old.
We're always one of the slower teams in the NBA just because we post up. And posting up is not a necessarily.
But now it's probably it's probably
thing.
worse because James is taking 500 dribbles a game.
Yes, and like the Nuggets, the only reason Nuggets are because Nuggets are like the only other team that posted up. They're bigs. The only reason they're not down there is because fucking Jokic gets them out on fucking breaks and shit. So they're like in the middle of the pack. But yeah, bro. And
that's
our
the
true
thing.
shooting percentage.
That's the advantage of having a rebounder who can also push the ball. That used to be Joel,
like,
but he's obviously having trouble right now.
Yeah, he like waits for them. Last year he was just pushing that shit.
Yeah, and not only that, sometimes he's the last one getting back at all. Like he's the last. Sometimes he doesn't. But he doesn't go back. Did that before offense.
He does that before. He does that before. I mean, he did that before when. That's how most of his threes happen.
Yeah, trailing.
He would just trail. Yeah, he would just fucking trail and shoot the 3.
But I mean, like,
worst.
He's literally he's so slow that he does not cross half court before the defense gets set.
Yes. Melton's. So our starting lineup tonight is Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, D'Anthony Melton, Harris, and Tucker for tonight. And hopefully,
against the Blazers,
against the Wizards.
Oh, Wizards, right? Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
They got Bradley Beal. Is Bradley Beal playing? KP.
Kristaps
ain't no shit. This ain't New York.
I mean,
Kristaps.
You giving up a lot of height.
Kristaps don't fucking rebound. What are you talking about?
No, I mean like not rebound, but I'm saying like if they're smart, just put him in the paint and let him just shoot hook shots over fucking PJ Tucker all night, or turnaround jumpers even, since he doesn't really shoot any big man shots.
See, I feel like you put too much trust in Porzingis.
Not even
I just don't
Porzingis.
see-
Fucking what's his name? There's their coach. I forget his name. He used to coach OKC.
Oh no, he's not that coach no more. He's not coach. He's a assistant coach there now. Scott Brooks,
okay.
yeah. Scott Brooks.
Scott Brooks, yeah. I was about to say, I know I saw him on the bench. All right, so he's an assistant. That sucks to be in the same place and just get demoted. I'd rather you just fired me. Nah, I don't know about that.
What the fuck?
I don't
is
know.
that? Oh,
That's a
coach,
tough situation.
Their head coach is Wes Unseld Jr.
Oh, okay.
Scott Brooks is on the Wizards, right?
But yeah, I mean, like I said,
Oh no, he's not. He's not even on there. He's a fucking assistant coach for the Portland Trailblazers.
oh, okay. That makes sense. But yeah, I mean, like, if you're smart, you just put Porzingis in the paint and just let him shoot. Like, just whatever he wants.
Yeah.
You're basically just tossing it in at that point. It's going to look like a Wilt game. If you're smart, and if Porzingis actually is smart enough to just go down
Aggressive.
low, get good position, and just turn around and dunk the fucking ball.
Yeah. But this is the whole thing. Who the fuck is he backing down?
PJ?
You think he's gonna back down PJ?
I don't even think he has to back down PJ. I think you literally just run around. This is all you do. You go out to the perimeter. PJ has to come out and guard you. And you literally just sprint to the fucking basket. That's it. PJ either has to stop you from getting there, or he has to try and just intercept the pass. And if you catch the ball and don't go straight up, at least you're closer to the rim, close enough that you can just shoot it over PJ Tucker. That's the thing. Like, he doesn't have to post up traditionally. He can just hang out until he wants to dive at the basket.
So you think Kristaps has 25 plus tonight?
I think Kristaps has. Yeah, I would say so. I would say probably 20. I think he'll get probably like 27.
27.
Now, granted, I think most of those will be first half. I think eventually we make an adjustment, like, I don't know, putting an actual big man out there. And by that point, he'll slow down. But then Bradley Beal goes off. So I don't know if we'll win tonight, but...
Is Bradley Beal playing?
Is he playing? I don't know. He's been playing.
Okay. I just haven't heard anything about him all year.
He's been playing. It's weird though because he's been playing without his headband. So when I watch the highlights and stuff, I'm like, oh shit, that's him.
Headband.
I'm like, oh, that's it. He did. Oh, okay, that was Brad.
Shit. Okay, they are 3-3 this year.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? They actually have a little squad. Like, they have a little nice squad. If they can make this shit work.
Not enough for me to resign in Washington if I'm Bradley Beal, but yeah, they got something.
But he loves it there. He's loyal. He is the Damian Lillard of the East.
He actually really is.
He is, bro.
He really is. Because he said I don't want to sign anywhere where I don't feel like I can win, and then literally re-signed in Washington. And JJ asked him, like, were you just full of shit? Like, was it? Were you just trying to make the fans happy? Then Brad doubled down on it. He's like, no, I really feel like we can win with this group. And JJ was just like, all right, okay.
I mean, if you believe it. I mean, I'm not going to sign a fucking contract.
You're not going to do it.
Bullshit like that. I never fucking said that. Kristaps is averaging 17 points a game. 17 points a game. Who have they won against that would give him trouble? They played against Chicago.
Nick Vucevic.
He had 14 points. Played against Cleveland. Jared Allen.
Jared
Evan
Allen.
Mobley, 18. Played against Detroit. He had
Nobody.
20.
Yeah.
Played against the Pacers, mind you. Miles Turner is not playing.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him what? I clicked off of it. I fucking broke it. Sean. There's something playing in my ear.
What?
Oh, okay. Oh, this is that. Oh, Miles Turner did play. Oh, it took me to the actual game, and now it's showing me highlights of it.
Oh.
That's pretty tough. Okay. Miles Turner had 27, and Kristaps Porzingis had 22. Yeah, Porzingis is not good. Like he's just. It's
I
like
mean,
he used
averaging
to be.
18 points, and you've played most of your games against pretty good defensive centers, and then today you're lining up against P.J. Tucker.
See, this is the thing. You played against pretty good defensive centers, but your game is not posting up.
Right. But now, that's literally the best option. Like, you can... Think about it. He can shoot over P.J. Tucker no matter where he is on the floor. He can still go out and shoot a few threes. But just ducking down into the paint gets you, at least, in my opinion, 6 easy buckets. Or just sends you to the foul line. And he's not a terrible foul shooter.
No, he shouldn't. Well, for his career, he shoots 81. This year, he's shooting 72. Which probably is going to end up being 81 because we're only like 7 games into the season.
Right.
I want to see what his fucking prime... It's crazy how he's 27 and we're talking about how his prime is fucking behind him.
Well, I mean, when you've dealt with the kind of injuries that he has, you know, it happens.
His prime was even that, like, in terms of, like, counting stats, prime wasn't even like that. He played 3 years in Dallas? God damn.
Yeah.
It don't even feel like that.
Because I
He
think for
barely
1
played,
year
that's
he
why.
was... I think for 1
That's
year he
why.
was injured, right?
Bro, this is why he was the year he was traded, he was injured. Because it goes from 2018, because his thing goes from 2017, 2018 to 2019, 2020. So the 2018, 2019 season he was injured.
Yeah.
That was the year he got traded.
Yep.
But him in his prime, like, he was never a good rebounder. Like,
No.
for his height, because, obviously he always plays on the perimeter.
But I think
7
that's
points.
that also goes into why he always wanted to be a power forward and not a center, because he likes the perimeter.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. We could have had Porzingis. Porzingis could have.
I don't know if we would have wanted him.
Why not?
I mean, could Porzingis give you what Dario gave you? Sure.
What do you
But
mean?
remember, Porzingis got drafted in what?
We would have taken him. We would have taken
2015.
him over Jahlil Okafor.
Right, but remember, we would have also had Dario and Joel come in next year.
No.
Yeah,
Dario. Well, it's about. Dario came overseas. From overseas.
yeah. Dario came from overseas. Joel came. He was injured, so they both had their rookie seasons the next year after that. So, sure, Kristaps would have already been there, playing for a year, and I think Joel and Kristaps could. I think Joel and Kristaps could play together, but the difference is what made Dario such a great fit was his ball handling ability and his passing ability as a power forward. Like, in addition to being able to shoot, he wasn't that great of a defender, and he couldn't block shots like Kristaps. And he wasn't dunking like Kristaps either. But
I would argue that Dario Saric is just as good as a defender as Kristaps Porzingis. I just think that Kristaps blocked more shots, so his stats look better. But I think Dario's defense.
I think because of the way New York was using him at that time, he was playing a lot of center, so he was getting a lot of blocks because he was just by the rim. Whereas if he was with us, he would be playing more like a power forward. And on the perimeter, I would say Dario's probably a better defender. So do you still want to start Porzingis over Dario when Dario's probably a better perimeter defender? We know he's a better ball handler. He's probably just as good of a shooter.
You know what you do then? You slide Dario down to play the small
I don't
forward.
No, you don't want. I don't want Dario guarding threes.
Why not?
You want 6'10" Dario Saric, who's I don't want to offend anybody, but you know the stereotype about like white players.
That's racist. You're racist.
I'm just
you're
saying.
Racist. You're just terrible. You're done. And you're canceled.
I'm just saying Dario fits that stereotype pretty well, and to have him guard the most, on average, most athletic position on the floor seems like a bad idea to me.
Dario's
especially in a time when there's still Paul George, LeBron James, like all in the East. Like, I don't know if I want Dario guarding threes.
Well, then again, like you said, if you had Porzingis, that means you also have Joel, which means you have two top shot blockers behind him. So why the hell are you worried about him getting beat?
Because Porzingis wouldn't be behind him; he would be on the perimeter too.
This is like 2014, 2015, where they were playing two bigs.
2016.
2016, they were playing two bigs at that point. They didn't really start the fucking stretch forward shit till like 2017, 2018, where like every team has one. There was two bigs still. There's two bigs still. It was fucking Duncan and LaMarcus. It was fucking who else? Who am I forgetting about? Fucking Marshawn Gortat was playing with fucking Nene and fucking there was two fucking bigs.
Zebo and Marcus All.
It's two bigs essentially. Like one big could possibly like stretch. Like Marcus All was your stretch big, and you don't want Marcus All like in today's game. Marcus All would have to be the center.
But think about it though. But even then, but think about it. How long does that last then? Having Joel and KP on the floor together. How many years does that last?
I think it lasts. If we drafted Kristaps Porzingis, and let's say you want to factor in his injury as well.
I mean, I think you have to.
All right.
And Joel.
So we drafted Kristaps. Porzingis gets injured. There's a possibility that he doesn't get as big as a contract that he did. See, was this after the fucking thing?
See, that's the problem.
But was this after he got his contract?
What, when he got injured?
Yeah. He got his contract while he was... No. When did he get his contract? No, he got his contract when he got traded. Never mind.
No, he didn't.
Because he's played his first 3 years with New York. Right?
Yeah.
First 3 years with New York. He got traded in his fourth year.
Oh, you're talking about the contract extension. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. He still would have a year before Joel. So, if you're the Sixers, because he got drafted in 2015.
A year? You mean before Joel? Because every time I say year before Joel,
before Joel actually came to play.
Yeah.
Before Joel and Dario came to play, KP was in the league for a year.
Right.
So if he still puts up the numbers in his rookie year that he did in his actual rookie year in New York, are you saying that the Sixers still trade him or don't offer him that contract?
No, what I'm saying is he does not get that big of a contract. I don't think he gets what he got paid from. You got to think when he got the contract, he was actually with Dallas. I'm looking up the fucking dates right now. He got the contract from Dallas.
Yeah.
Or it was a part of the deal or whatever fucking case. But
remember, he got. But think about it. But hold on a second. He got the contract from Dallas because Dallas was expecting him to be their second star long term next to Luka. If Kristaps Porzingis was drafted by us in 2015, we probably win more games and don't end up with Ben Simmons. So now Kristaps is your next star next to Joel Embiid.
You promise?
So he probably still gets the contract.
You promise?
Do I promise what?
we don't get Ben Simmons?
Listen. But this is the problem, though. Now we end up with KP overpaid because he probably still gets the contract because he's looked at as one of the two pillars of our future.
Now, question, right? Joel Embiid, because like Joel played the second year, that 2016 year, the year that we end up getting Ben, right? That was the year because he played 31 games and then we end up drafting Ben. They both play together, right? Let's say in the world, it's so fucking hard to like play what if.
Oh no!
It's so fucking hard.
You're wrong. You're behind a year. We drafted Ben after Jahlil Okafor's rookie year. Remember, Ben
Porzingis first year.
Yes, but remember, Ben and Joel were supposed to play the same year for the first time, but Ben got injured. That's why he came in 2017. He was drafted in 2016 before Joel got his first year. So I'm saying if we draft Kristaps Porzingis instead of Jahlil Okafor, we probably win enough games to not get the number one pick and get Ben Simmons. So now, next year, when Joel comes in for his first year, he's playing alongside Kristaps, who's in his second year now.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no Ben.
Let's say we let's go back to that 2016 draft, right? Let's say we win enough games to not get, because I mean we're not going to win a fucking significantly more amount of fucking games. Like
right,
if anything, we
team.
win. All right, let's look at this draft, right? Let's say we fall, we get the fucking 7th pick, right? Instead of we getting the first pick, we get the 7th pick. You know who the 7th pick is?
I think we'd be higher
Jamal
than that,
Murray.
but go ahead. No, yeah, we still have a great player.
So we will have Jamal Murray,
unless we fucked around and drafted Chris Dunn or something like that. But I don't know. But
it was kind of crazy. We kind of wanted him.
We did. We wanted Emmanuel Mudiay for a while too, which was just, huh?
Mudiay was in his draft?
No.
Oh, you just saw it general. Okay.
Yeah,
Typical Sixers shit.
Yeah.
And you look over this fucking, there's only a couple players that have played their full years. Like they would still be an NBA player. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of these motherfuckers like burned out.
Yeah, 2016
like
was not a particularly deep draft.
Dragon Bender for his career average 5 points, 4 rebounds.
Dragon Bender, by the way, who was drafted because everybody wanted the next Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, this is what Chris Dunn played 6 years, averaged 8 points and 4 assists. Damn. Well, it's a lot more than I originally thought. You got Damian Jones. You got Zubac.
Arvidas.
I'm just going for not Arvidas. That's Sabonis.
I know. I just want to see if I can get you to say it.
Malcolm Brogdon was the second round, drafted in the second round,
and Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and Rookie of the Year. George Niang is still around because he's on the Sixers.
Yep.
Tyrone Wallace. I haven't heard that fucking name in a minute.
Yeah. I don't know if long term us drafting Porzingis would have been beneficial.
Because let's think about it. That means that following year, that 2017 year, when Joel does come back, right? It was 2017.
2016.
2016. That means we definitely Joel playing. So it'll be 2016, 2017, right?
Yes.
So that means the 2016 draft has already happened, which means we have somebody added to the team. So that means one of these players are added. So that means Porzingis, Joel, and it's most likely going to be a guard.
And Dario
will have drafted. Dario. Okay. We're definitely not getting the first overall pick or even in contention for the first overall pick
in
next to the following
2017.
year.
Right, because remember the only
Which
reason why we
drafted
we
Markel.
were in contention for the number 1 pick in 2017 was because
we had number 3.
Joel missed most of his games and Ben didn't play that year.
Yeah, and we ended up getting a 3rd pick. We ended up trading that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Joel missed most, like, 3/4 of the season, and Ben missed the entire season. That was the only reason why we got that high. If we get Dario, KP, and somebody else in the 2016 draft, we're not in contention for the top 3 picks at all next year.
Because think about it. We went from being a team that had the number 1 pick to being the 3rd seed in the year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because those two guys actually got to the on the floor at the same time finally.
And then
or
we
those
had
3
JJ
guys,
Redick
I should
added.
say.
JJ Redick was added.
Yep.
All these players were added. So let's say,
by the way, if you have Dario Saric and Kristaps Porzingis in your starting lineup and you don't draft Ben and you instead draft a different guard like maybe a Jamal Murray, do you still sign JJ Redick? Or do you go after a forward?
I think you still would sign JJ Redick because in like Dario could come off the bench. Like Dario does not need to be a starter.
But remember, the reason why we signed JJ was because our 2 best players were not shooters. In Ben and Joel.
I think you still
Dario
sign
could
JJ.
play, but what'd you say?
I think we still sign JJ. Because he's like
I
a
don't know
shooter.
if we go after JJ the same way.
'Cause, like,
I don't know if we
Jamal
go after
Murray-
JJ the same way because part of the reason why JJ came here, if we're being honest, was because of the money.
Yeah.
I don't know if we offer JJ
We would
that
still
much
have
money
that
to
money.
come in and be a
Nobody
shooter.
Nobody would have an extension yet. It'd just be a whole bunch of young kids balling. And if you wanted a veteran, JJ Redick would still be available.
That he would, but it would have to be a 1-year deal because that was the year that Kristaps was up for his extension.
He got a 1-year deal.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, it would be the
but I
same
mean,
thing.
you might if you give KP that extension, you can't re-sign him though.
JJ Redick?
Right.
Because, you gotta think, JJ Redick got $23 million the first year he was here.
Yeah.
Then that dropped to $11 million the next year he was here. Because that $23 million was just throwing money at him to get him come here. Then when he got the $11 million, it was because, oh shit, he actually wanted to come back. But it was
because
established. We were established at that point.
But remember, too, part of the reason also was because Joel got his extension.
Mm-hmm.
Because Joel got drafted in 2014. So I think that was the first year of Joel's extension. If I'm not
games
mistaken.
got postponed.
Our game got postponed?
World Series.
World Series. Okay.
Yeah.
Weather.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
assuming.
raining. Yeah, it's pushed back to Tuesday. They expected this was going to happen.
Yeah. So listen, I want to, because we're winding down, I want to end this with just a little bit of good old-fashioned, harmless gloating. Because what a time to be a Philadelphia sports fan.
Yeah.
What a time. To all of the rest of you guys in all those other cities, I mean, it must suck. It really I don't, we went through it for a couple of years. We're not there anymore, though. We're winners. You guys are losers.
Winners!
You're all losers. You're terrible.
Fucking losers.
You're all trash. You might as well not even be in the same leagues as us. Oh, your football team lost? I don't know what that feels like. I'm sorry. I don't know what that feels like.
I can't comment.
Your team's not in the World Series? What are you talking about? Your baseball team's not in the World Series. Our baseball team's in the World Series. You don't have Joel Embiid and James Harden on your team? Oh, man, that must fucking suck. I don't know. I don't know. To tell you.
Wait, hold up. You said because you have Kawhi and Paul George? Oh, well. That's nice.
Yeah. We'll see how long it takes for one of them to break a leg.
Literally.
See how many games they play before one of their legs explodes and the other one loses a knee.
You said you're a Warriors fan?
I don't have anything to say to you guys. You guys are
right.
great. We
You guys
love you.
amazing people.
Right.
You're
Please,
winners.
Please.
But what are Warriors fans without Philadelphia?
We gave you your fucking team.
We didn't give it to you. It robbed us.
Exactly. Right. And you took Wilt.
Those championships should be ours.
And you took Wilt in the process. No, fuck y'all.
And you know what's crazy? I took Wilt for Wilt just to come back to Philly. This motherfucker just came right back.
To go to the Sixers. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm not feeling this shit. You know they got the 100-point record?
The Warriors, yeah.
That's corny as fuck, bro.
Yep. I know.
I feel like if you established another team in that city and it's like literally would pick up where the other team left off, they should get all that shit.
I feel like that's why teams shouldn't move. You should just add teams. Stop moving teams and just add them.
Like when Supersonics, the NBA is going to eventually expand, and Supersonics are going to eventually be back.
Yeah.
Does OKC still keep the fucking title, or do you give it back to that franchise?
No.
I personally believe that because I don't understand how the Warriors have our championship.
Because think about it. Do the Hornets have any of the old Hornets records that the Pelicans have?
But that's like corny as fuck though. Because it's like I understand that that's where the franchise is. The franchise went from there to there.
Yeah.
Cool. Like there's no way. Like I can see if I don't know necessarily. The name doesn't really matter if they change the name. Bullshit.
No, it matters. It matters. Think about it. If you move the Philadelphia 76ers anywhere else, 76 it just doesn't make sense.
But there's a fucking team in the NBA who fucking name does not make sense because they moved it and they kept the same fucking name. Right. They moved the Utah Jazz from New Orleans, and what fucking jazz is being played in fucking Utah?
Mormon jazz.
Mormon jazz. Playing Mormon jazz. I'm gonna Google this because
Mormon jazz. You got the guy. You got the guy on the. He's the lead vocalist, and then his wife is the piano player, and then his wife is on the bass, and then his wife is. It's on the electric guitar, and then his wife is on the drums. And then all of his kids are in the crowd. That's it.
And then his wife is working the cameras.
Right. Right. While his wife works the lights.
Right. Oh, God. Oh, God.
This is terrible. Oh, my God.
As they get instructions from his wife, who's also the stage director. Like, this shit just keeps going. It just keeps fucking going, man.
And they're doing it to make the soundtrack for the new Big Love reboot. All right, maybe I took it too far. That wasn't funny. Nobody watched Big Love. Also, that was just an old ass show. Do you remember Big Love?
No.
It was a show with Bill Paxton that was supposed to be based off like a Mormon community, but it was like a drama show. It was interesting, but it wasn't interesting enough. Like it was around for how many seasons did Big Love have? Hold on.
Playing some good old Mormon jazz. Can you hear it?
Big Love had 5 seasons. Damn, that is way more than I thought. That's Mormon jazz. You know what's crazy? That sounds exactly like how I would expect Mormon jazz to sound. That is the most unseasoned jazz that I have ever heard in my life. They took all of the gumbo and everything out of the jazz, and they threw in some good old pecan pie. This pecan pie jazz. I don't want no pecan pie jazz. I want gumbo jazz. I want gumbo and clam jazz. And sadness. I want my jazz to sound like gumbo and oppression. Not fucking
Have you listened to the new
farm chores?
Have you listened to the new Christian rap?
No, and I don't want to. Marquise. All right, everybody. This has been another episode. Oh, God.
Hey, you better praise God. I'm a supernatural God. I ain't playing by my phone. I'm on my job.
I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
Stab you in the face.
I'm gonna hit you with this cane. That's my shit. All right. I heard that one. Did you see him on Abbott Elementary?
Yes. He plays her boyfriend.
Yeah, well, ex-boyfriend. Oh shit! Spoiler.
Spoiler.
I'm sorry. They broke up. But yeah. But you know.
Just keep going. Keep going.
I'm sorry. All right. Well, anyway, this was another episode of the Untitled Hoops podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to catch us next week with another episode, and then also we are planning at some point to try and do a live podcast from outside the 76er Stadium. We're going to do a tailgate, and we're going to pod live from the tailgate. We're going to have hamburgers and what are the kids called? Glizzies. I call them hot dogs.
And Glizzy gobbling contest.
We're going to hopefully see some of you guys down there at the stadium, do some interviews, have some cool conversations. So look forward to that. We're not sure when it's going to happen just yet because it is getting cold, and we might just not want to do it because we're black. So
that's perfect reason.
Shoot us a message, a comment down below, or on Instagram. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And I think we have a TikTok. I'm not sure. I'm not in charge of that kind of stuff. And then, we'll see you. What is this? Is this more Mormon jazz?
We're going to go out to some Mormon jazz. You keep going. Keep doing the outro.
That was it. That was the outro. We'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining us. This is Old West saloon music. This is the music where like the bar is at peace and everybody's kind of chilling, and then out of nowhere, an outlaw just flies through the door. Yeah, exactly. And then the fucking piano player turns around, and everybody in the bar is like, "Oh, what's going on?" This Wild Bill's at it again. That's this. This is like this is straight out of Westworld.
This is like if they. I can't say that on this podcast.
Don't say it. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.